Retained earnings are A, an indication of the company's liquidity, B, the same as cash in the bank, C, the cumulative earnings of the company after dividends. The cumulative earnings of the company after dividends, that is the correct answer. Munashe High School. Only area allotted securities are being traded among investors. B, investors trade in new securities. C, individuals cannot participate. What's the correct answer?
9, 8, 7, 6.
A is the correct answer. What is the meaning of duration in bond investing? A, it is a rough estimate of how long it will take to reach your goal. B, it's the number of years a bond issuer has gone without a negative credit event. C, it's a measure of a bond's interest rate sensitivity. What is the correct answer?
9, 8, 7.
That is incorrect. What is the meaning of duration in bond investing? A, it is a rough estimate of how long it will take to reach your goal. B, it's the number of years a bond issuer has gone without a negative credit event. C, it's a measure of a bond's interest rate sensitivity. What is the correct answer?
9, 8, 7.
That is incorrect. Question number 1. The Central Securities Depository can maintain an electronic register for the following securities. A, shares. B, bonds. C, derivatives. C, all of the above.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5.
That is the correct answer. Clearing banks to manage the risk in the settlement system. What is the name to the security lodged by clearing banks to manage the risk in the settlement system? A, collateral security. B, bank security. C, title deed security. D, none of the above.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Collateral security is the correct answer, option A. SD represent within capital markets. A, central securities. That is the correct answer. In Sacred School, the clearing and settlement system facilitates the efficient clearing and settlement of trades and is integrated into A, settlement banks, mobile network operators, and warehouse management systems. B, settlement banks and custodian. C, mobile network operators and custodians. What is the correct answer?
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
A is the correct answer. Gate to the A, warehouse. B, market. C, households.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That is the correct answer. Or pass this question. How many commodities are currently trading on the ZMX 18A, B 16, C 49, D 50?
16.
That is the correct answer. The current market price of a commodity at which it can be bought or sold for immediate delivery. cash and securities pending settlement to ensure no. That is the correct answer. The clock begins, ladies and gentlemen. Retained earnings are. The blue buzzer went up first. No. You can't complete on behalf of the other because you pressed the buzzer. So you can't discuss. So you have stated your answer. Now, adjudicators. If you may refer to that question, a full answer, please. The retained earnings are. Full answer. Speak up, please. The full answer.
Cumulative profits that are left after paying dividends.
The adjudicators confer. And we went. Once again, a read 4. The type of bond whose present value is lesser.
Blue and then red.
Blue and then red.
Discount.
Discount what?
Discount rate.
That is the correct answer. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 4 questions remaining. The big question is, who will emerge the winner from Group H? Question number 5. The role of the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe within the settlement cycle is to ensure A. Investors are protected. B. Capital markets are regulated well. C. Loans are issued to depositories. That is the incorrect answer. Okay, to the adjudicators on this one. Allow me. Alright. Msengezi, what is the answer? A. That is the incorrect answer. That again is the incorrect answer. Adjudication.
Yeah. They all got it wrong.
Alright, I saw a buzzer went on after that went wrong. What happened? These guys did the buzzer on.
Our number answer is so it's done.
Alright. Capital markets are regulated well. C. Loans are issued to depositories. D. Timelier settlement by settlement banks. That was the correct answer. We move on to question number 6. Orders are matched on the automated trading system using Chinoi High.
Time price principle.
Adjudicators.
Time price priority principle.
That is the correct answer. Question number 7. We have 2 questions to go. The drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. As the winner in Group H. Now, a failure on the part of admitted participants to meet their obligations may result
Maple and then
Maple and then Chinoi High. Alright, we have a response and we have a question.
let's have a response first.
Let's have the response first. Which is the answer? There is an answer that went first, and now we're hearing another one, and we're also hearing the very first one. What was the first answer?
Systematically.
If it's not your answer, it's not your answer. Is that the answer?
Is that your final answer? Is that your final answer?
That is the correct answer. This will be question number 7. Replacement question for question number 7. Question is, how many exchange traded funds are currently?
Red, blue.
5.
Incorrect.
Blue first.
3.
Incorrect. Incorrect.
Oh. Next question.
Next question. Question number 8. The correct answer there was 4. The final question. The drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. And it says it's been a tight contest. Who participates mainly? May we please have the answer?
Stop, brothers.
That is the incorrect answer. Alright, we have another answer. Munashe High? That is the incorrect answer.
So even they press the button, the other ones will answer and it. So read the full question, but only those two can answer.
Alright. Who participates mainly as the depositors and sellers of commodities on the ZMX? That is the correct answer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for all the 4 rounds in this very contest. The adjudicators have had their run, and we have a winner. The drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Fantastic, fantastic. And of course, we are looking forward to find out who emerged as the winner from Group H, of course, of the national competitions where capital markets are concerned. And of course, we have got some feedback coming through from the adjudicators. Now, we have a team that lost 55 points for failing to adhere to the rules of the game. We have another that lost 50 points just again for failing to adhere to the rules of the competition. If you're not sure about your response, it might just be important for you to wait until the whole question is relayed. And also, caution is necessary as and when you are sure, when you're not sure of the required response or the expected response from the adjudicator. So 2 teams lost over 50 points in this particular contest simply for failing to adhere to the rules of the game. Again, sometimes it's important to wait until the question is relayed in full, and then you can have your shot. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready to hear the results?
Yes.
Okay. For the first time in the 2025 edition, we have a team that's in the negative. In position 4 with minus 15 points, we have Musengezi High School. They lost a good 55 points just because they could not follow the rules of the game. So while they had been in the positive, but they found themselves pretty much in the negative. So their ignorance of some of the rules, or should I say, their misappropriation of the rules of the game, cost them a good number of points. However, it can be said that they demonstrated the knowledge of the capital markets. A round of applause for Msengezi. Now in position number 3, with 60 points, ladies and gentlemen, Chinoi High School. A round of applause for Chinoi. A big round of applause for Chinoi, ladies and gentlemen, with their 60 points. Again, it's important to stick by the rules of the game, ladies and gentlemen. In position 2, with, of course, 75 points, ladies and gentlemen, we have Eri Maple. Well, of course, it's quite an ecstatic response from some members of the audience. And as you might guess, in position 1, with 130 points, a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Well, of course, it's been a fascinating contest, and of course, this concludes all the group stages of this great contest. Group H being the final one, and it's been an amazing contest, and of course jubilation and celebration after the announcement of the results. Now once again, a round of applause to all the 4 teams.